welcome you all students for today's class. In today's class, you are going to learn a new lesson, atomic structure. We have completed 3 lessons thus far and this is the 4th unit. In the last chapter, we studied that anything around us is matter and it is made up of molecules, right? The molecules are nothing but the combination of atoms of different elements or of the same element. What all the things that you can see around you? You can see books, chair, tables, right? What all they are made up of? Yes, they are made up of atoms. So atoms are the smallest particles. They cannot be seen even through a microscope. Now we will see the definition for atom. Atoms. Now we will see the definition for atom. The smallest unit of an element that exhibit the properties of that element is called as atom. This is a definition of atom. How small is an atom? An atom is 1,000 times smaller than the thickest human hair. It has an average diameter of 0.000000001 meter, or it can be written as 1 into 10 raised to the power minus 9 meter. To understand the size of an atom, now let us find what is the size of known things like pencil, red blood cells, virus and dust particles. Pencil is 1 into 10 raised to the power minus 2 meter. The size of red blood cells is 1 into 10 to the power minus 4 meter. The size of virus is 1 into 10 power minus 6 meter. And the size of dust particle is 1 into 10 raised to the power minus 7 meter. Now you can imagine how small an atom would be. So the size of the atom is 1 into 10 raised to the power minus 10 meter. In today's class, we are going to deal with 2 topics, atomic theories and subatomic particles. First, we will see atomic theories. Many scientists have studied the structure of the atoms and advanced their theories about it. So, the theories proposed by Dalton, Thomson and Rutherford are given. The first one is Dalton's atomic theory. It was proposed by Dalton. The second theory is Thomson's theory. It was proposed by Thomson. And the last theory is Rutherford's theory and it was proposed by Rutherford. Now we will see each one in detail. Dalton's atomic theory. So Dalton proposed the atomic theory in the year 1808. What he said is, he proposed that matter consists of very small particles which he named atoms. An atom is smallest invisible particle. It is spherical in shape. So he said that matter consists of very small particles and he named it as atoms. Okay, and atom is the smallest invisible particle and it is spherical in shape. We all know Earth is spherical shape, right? Likewise, atom is also spherical shape. The drawbacks of his theory was, his theory does not propose anything about the positive and negative charges of an atom. He just said the shape of the atom, it is spherical in shape. But he does not say anything about the charges of an atom, whether it is positive charge, negative charge or neutral charge. Hence, this was the drawback of his theory. Hence, it was not able to explain many of the properties of substances. So this was the drawback of Dalton's atomic theory. He just said that atoms are smallest invisible particles and every matter consists of very small particles called atoms, and it is spherical in shape. The next theory is Thomson's theory. In 1897, J.J. Thomson proposed a different theory. What he said was, he compared an atom to a watermelon. We all know the fruit watermelon, right? So he compared atom to a watermelon. His theory proposed that the atoms has positively charged part like the red part of the watermelon. You can see in the picture, watermelon, inside watermelon you have a red color part, right? So he compares that part to be positive charge. Like the seeds, you have seeds embedded in a red color part, right? So he compares the seeds to the negatively charged particles, which he calls them to be electrons. So he says that he compares atom to a watermelon, and he says that a watermelon consists of a red portion, right? So that he calls to be positively charged part, and we can see seeds embedded in it, right? So he calls them to be electrons, and electrons are negatively charged. According to this theory, as the positive and negative charges are equal, the atoms as a whole does not have any resultant charge. So he says that an atoms have positive and negative charge to be equal. Both are equal. So it becomes neutral, right? So the atom as a whole do not have any resultant charge. Thomson's greatest contribution was to prove by experimentation the existence of the negatively charged particles. It is also called as electrons. The negative charged particles are called as electrons in an atom. For this discovery, he was awarded the Nobel Prize in 1906. Drawback: although this theory explained why an atom is neutral, it was an incomplete theory in another ways. So, first person, who is that? Dalton. He said atom is spherical shape, right? The second person, Thomson, said atom has both positive as well as negative charge, but he did not explain why an atom is neutral. So, it was an incomplete theory in other ways. The third theory is Rutherford theory. There were shortcomings in Thomson's theory, so Ernest Rutherford gave a better understanding. What Rutherford did was, he conducted an experiment. Now we will see the experiment. As you can see here, he bombarded a very thin layer of gold with positively charged alpha rays. So this is the alpha ray, and this is a thin layer of gold foil. He found that most of these rays, which travel at a great velocity, passed through this thin gold sheet without encountering any obstacles. When the alpha particles were emitted, most of the rays traveled through the gold foil with a great velocity. The rays which had great velocity passed through the thin gold sheet without any obstacles. As you can see here, these are the rays. But a few, however, turned back. You can see here, right? From the slit, it turns back from the sheet. So, from this, he concluded that based on this experiment, Rutherford proposed his famous theory. The fact that most alpha particles pass through the gold sheet means that atom consists mainly of empty space. You can see most of the rays passed through this gold foil, right? Few returned back. So from this he concludes that atom consists mainly of empty space. Next is the part from which the positively charged particles are turned back is positively charged but very small in size as compared to the empty space. So we can see here only few rays returned back, right? Turned back from the sheet. So he concludes that the part from which the positively charged particles are turned back is positively charged. So that part is positively charged. So only the alpha particles are turning back because the alpha particles are positively charged, and when they hit the positively charged part, what will happen? Positive and positive charge will repel, right? Positive and negative charge attracts, but if both charges are positive or both charges are negative, it will repel, right? So when positive charge touches the positive charge, it repels. So only a few rays are turning back from the gold foil. So he concludes that the part from which the positively charged particles are turned back is positively charged but very small in size. This is very important. But it is the positively charged part in the atom is very small in size when compared to the empty space, because most of the rays are traveling through the thin gold sheet. Only few rays turn back from the sheet. So based on this experiment, he concludes this two things. Rutherford's theory proposes that the nucleus at the center of the atom has the positive charge. As you can see here, this is the structure of atom and this is the nucleus. In the middle you have the nucleus, and the nucleus is positive charge. Most of the mass of the atom is concentrated in the nucleus. That is, the mass of the atom, the weight of the atom is concentrated in the nucleus. The negatively charged electrons revolve around the nucleus in specific orbits. So these are the electrons, this red color, right? These are the electrons. The electrons are negatively charged. It revolves around the nucleus in specific orbits. In comparison with the size of the atom, the nucleus is very small. So when compared to the size of the atom, the nucleus is very small. So these are the postulates of Rutherford. Stages of discovery of the constituents of an atom. So the first is Dalton's model, right? In the year 1808, he said that an atom is spherical in shape. That's all he said. Then Rutherford continued. Rutherford's model in the year 1897, he said an atom has positive charge as well as negative charge, and he also said positive and negative charges are equal, so the atom as a whole does not have any resultant charge. This is what he proposed. Next is Rutherford model 1977. He said an atom consists of a nucleus. The nucleus will be present at the center, and the nucleus at the center of the atom is positive charge, and then electrons revolve around the nucleus in a specific orbit and the electrons are negatively charged. This is what he said. The discoveries made during the 20th century proved that atoms of all elements are made up of smaller components called electron, proton, and neutron. An electron from hydrogen atom is no different from the electron of a carbon atom. In the same manner, protons and neutrons of all elements also have same characteristic. These particles that make up the atom are called subatomic particles. So, an atom consists of electrons, protons as well as neutrons. These three, electrons, protons and neutrons, make up an atom. Now we will see each one in detail. Proton. The proton is the positively charged particle and it is located in the nucleus. Its positive charge is of the same magnitude as that of the electron's negative charge. So, proton is a positively charged particle and its location is in nucleus. It is present in the nucleus. Its positive charge is of the same magnitude as that of the electron's negative charge. The next one is neutron. Neutron is inside the nucleus. Neutron is present inside the nucleus. The neutron does not have any charge. So, proton possesses positive charge. Neutrons possess no charge. Excepting hydrogen. The nuclei of all atoms contain neutrons. Except this hydrogen atom, the nuclei of all atoms will contain neutrons. The next is electron. We all know, right? Electron is negatively charged. This is a negatively charged particle. Electrons revolve around the nucleus of the atom in specific orbits. The mass of an electron is negligible as compared to that of a proton or neutron. Hence, the mass of an atom depends on the number of protons and neutrons in the nucleus. So, the mass of an electron is very small when compared to the proton or neutron. Hence, the mass of the atom as a whole will depend on the number of protons as well as the number of neutrons in the nucleus. The total negative charge of an electrons outside the nucleus is equal to the total positive charge in the nucleus. So, the electrons are negatively charged particles, right? So, the total negative charge of an electrons outside the nucleus is equal to the total positive charge. So, in an atom, the total negative charge of the electrons will be equal to the total positive charge of the protons. Protons are positively charged, right? It is present inside the nucleus. So, it will be equal to the total positive charge in the nucleus. So, this makes the atoms electrically neutral. Therefore, since the total number of negative charge is equal to the total number of positive charge, atom as a whole is electrically neutral. Here you can see the structure of atom. In the middle, the nucleus is present and it consists of protons, the positive charge, as well as neutron. Neutron is represented by green color and proton is represented by red color with a plus symbol. Neutron is neutral charge, right? It does not have any charge. And the electron, you can see the electron is revolving around the nucleus. It is represented by the blue color with a negative symbol. So this is the structure of atom. So an atom has a nucleus and nucleus contains protons and neutrons. Protons are positive charge, neutrons are with no charge, and electrons revolve around the nucleus. Electrons are negatively charged particles. Charge and mass of the subatomic particles. So proton, the symbol of proton is P and the discoverer was Ernest Rutherford and the charge is +1 and its mass is given in kg, 1.6726 into 10 power minus 27. Next is electron. The discoverer name is Sir John Joseph Thomson. That is J.J. Thomson. The symbol is E and the charge is -1 and the mass is 9.1093 into 10 power -31. Neutron. The discoverer is James Chadwick. The symbol is N and the charge is 0 since neutrons are neutral charge, right? They do not have any charge, so it is 0. Mass is 1.6749 into 10 power -27. Now we will do a small recap. We learnt about the definition of atom, right? The smallest unit of an element that exhibit the properties of that element is called as atom. Next, we learnt 3 atomic theories: Dalton atomic theory, Thomson's theory, and Rutherford's theory. Dalton's atomic theory. John Dalton proposed an atomic theory in the year 1808, right? It is called as Dalton's model. He said that matter consists of very small particles and he named it as atoms. An atom is the smallest indivisible particle. He said the atom is spherical in shape. His theory did not propose anything about the positive and negative charge of the atom. This was the drawback of Dalton's model, right? Next is Thomson's model. J.J. Thomson proposed a different theory in the year 1897. What he said is, he compared atom to a watermelon as we saw before. And he said an atom consists of positive charge as well as negative charge, and he named the negatively charged particles to be electrons, and he said that positive and negative charges are equal. The atom as a whole does not have any resultant charge. So since positive and negative charges are equal, the atom as a whole does not have any resultant charge. This is what he said. This theory also had a drawback. Although this theory explained why an atom is neutral, it was an incomplete theory in other ways. Next is Rutherford's theory. There were shortcomings in Thomson's theory. Therefore, Ernest Rutherford conducted an experiment and explained the structure of atom. So what he said is an atom consists of nucleus, and the nucleus is present in the center of the atom, and the nucleus consists of protons which are positive charged. Okay, so the nucleus is positive charged nucleus and empty space is present in the atom. Then electrons revolve around the atom in a specific orbit. This is what he said, and the electrons are negatively charged. So Rutherford proposed his theory in the year 1977 and it is known as Rutherford's model. Next we saw subatomic particles. So atoms of all elements are made up of smaller components: electron, proton and neutron. These particles that make up the atom are called as subatomic particles, right? So an atom consists of electrons, protons and neutrons. They three makes up atom. Proton, neutron and electron we saw in detail, right? So proton are positively charged particles and they are located in the nucleus. Next is neutron. Neutron is also present inside the nucleus. The neutron does not have any charge. It has neutral charge. Next is electron. Electron is negatively charged particle. Electron revolves around the nucleus of an atom in a specific orbit. This point is very important. Atom is electrically neutral because this point. Atom is electrically neutral because the total negative charge of an electrons outside the nucleus is equal to the total positive charge in the nucleus. That is total number of electrons are negative charge, right, is equal to the total positive charge. The negative charge is equal to the total positive charge. Therefore, atoms are electrically neutral. This is the structure of atom. The atom consists of protons, neutrons, and electrons. So this is the structure of atom. That's all for today's class. Assignment: define atom, name the subatomic particles, draw the structure of an atom and explain the position of the subatomic particles. Thank you.